Hello there, everybody, and today for the Cleveland show, I'm reviewing Merry Christmas. So, this episode is the sequel to the Christmas episode that I reviewed last year. So, this is in season 2. This is where Rollo decides to help an old man that is in a retirement home who doesn't really want to celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah because he just doesn't have any friends to celebrate with or family, and so Rollo decides to cheer him up. At first, the two butt heads a little bit. After Rollo has like a performance at Christmas, like Murray's just not really caring for Rollo's performance, but eventually Rollo is able to form a bond with Murray after being forced to chat with him after their little argument. But the side plot for this episode is where Cleveland is going to wrestle his dad in a boxing match, and they're going to see who could win. So this episode was definitely a little bit better than the last year's Christmas special, where it's just about Rollo getting lied to by Cleveland and Donna over who the dad is. Rollo's biological dad, which is Robert. But, of course, the dad was a bum. But in this, it's about Rollo showing compassion for someone in this. And that's what I really like about the episode. We see a different side to Rollo because he's usually the prankster type. But in this, he's, like, caring for Murray. He really doesn't want him to be lonely in the retirement home. But after the two spend some time together, they're sitting at a bench together, and Murray reveals that he does not want to go back because he feels he'll just be a slave to all the people who work there, and he just wants to be free. But of course, Rollo decides to actually help him live there at his house, and he actually hides him in the closet. And Donna almost catches Rollo when she almost spots him in the closet. But of course, Murray's able to somewhat live there, but because of his health, he's unable to stay there for long. But during that, we do see Cleveland's dad a lot more in this episode, and I thought his character was hilarious in this, where he's going to fight Cleveland, and they even look at old memories of the times they boxed together. But every time Freight Train is like mean to Cleveland, Donna tells him to stick up, even though she's also being mean to Cleveland. But after a fight with Donna, they pretend to fight as like sparring. But then when it gets to the real deal, the two fight. And at first, Cleveland almost loses until he's able to take down Freight Train. And he actually almost kills him as Freight Train gets a heart attack during the fight. And of course, Cleveland goes a little too far, but then when he realizes he's hurting his dad, he just runs for it. And he actually almost loses his pants during the run. I can't imagine why Cleveland would run around in the cold. But during all this, Freight Train does go to the hospital, and we get a scene between Junior and Rollo, where Cleveland Jr. ends up yelling at Rollo, which I thought was funny. But Rollo has to decide whether he should let Murray go back to the nursing homes, or let him stay because he wants to not break Murray's promise. But he also doesn't want him to die. But eventually, one of the nurses shows up and asks Rollo where he could be. But Rollo, of course, lies. But after seeing Murray get even more sick, he decides that he must put his foot down and have Murray go back. But of course, Murray's having a grudge against Rollo because of it. But during Christmas morning, everyone's opening their gifts. Junior gets like some farmer stuff, which I thought was funny. He gets like a wagon, and he actually likes it. But of course, Rollo was not really in a mood for Christmas presents as he decides to go rescue Murray in the nursing home with Junior's help, of course, and Cleveland, who decides to help as well. and they're able to get everyone out of the nursing home. And there's actually like a giant cyborg robot that kills anybody who escapes their rooms, which I thought was wild. But everyone goes to Cleveland's house, the elderly, the Cleveland family, and Freight Train returns in a wheelchair. And the episode ends with Jingle Bells, but in the medical version of it. So, yeah, this episode was definitely wholesome. It was definitely a good Christmas theme. The thing about fighting back against loneliness and teaching us that Christmas is about coming together than just being about presents and stuff. That's what I thought was nice about this episode. There were some good jokes here and there. It was definitely better than the last year's Christmas special. Not that that one was bad or anything. It was still good. But this one I found just a little bit better. But I don't know what other Christmas reviews I'll do. I think I'll do another regular show. Find a different Christmas special they did. And I don't know what else. But we'll definitely review more Christmas movies for sure. So I'd probably give this episode probably a 7 out of 10. But next year, we'll definitely review the Cleveland Show Halloween special, Thanksgiving and Christmas, of course, for the third season. So be on the lookout for that. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. That's nasty.